నమస్తే రమణ నాయక్ గారు. నమస్తే. బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు నమస్తే.
సార్ వెరీ చరణ్ సార్ నమస్తే. డాక్టర్ రమేశ్వర్ గారు నమస్కారం సార్. డాక్టర్ నవ మేడం, రమా మేడం నమస్తే. నమస్తే డైరెక్టర్ సాబ్. నమస్తే డాక్టర్ రమేశ్వర్ సాబ్.
రామేశ్వరరావు గారు నమస్తే. రామేశ్వరరావు గారు నమస్తే.
నమస్తే సార్. నమస్తే.
హౌ సార్ డైరెక్టర్ సాబ్.
The person you're calling is not answering.
నా వాయిస్ వస్తుందా వరమ్నా?
వస్తుంది సార్. కమింగ్ సార్. సార్ ఎక్కడ సార్?
ఉన్నారన్నా
సార్ ఇంటికాడా ఆఫీసా?
కాలేజ్ అంటే ఇంటికి.
మన రజిత్ కుమార్ సార్ వాళ్ళు అమ్మ పోయారు సార్. రజిత్ కుమార్ సార్ చీఫ్ సెక్రటరీ. అక్కడ ఉన్నాం నేను రమ మేడం. ప్రొఫెసర్ రామాచారి గారు విసి గారు నమస్తే.
ఇంకా కనెక్ట్ కాలేదు సార్.
అది నా ఫాల్ట్. అయినా బాగా వచ్చాము మనం. ఎందుకు నువ్వు పెట్టుకో. నేను చదివాను. మీకు పెట్టకూడదు. అప్పుడే నవ్వు చాట్ మేడం. ట్రైన్ చేస్తా మెట్రో చెప్పండి పాపం కొంచెం భయపడి మనం పోవాలి మేడం. పోయి ఇంటి అంటే భయపడుతుందా పిల్ల? గట్టిగానే ఆనశెట్టి గారు నమస్తే అండి.
హలో నమస్తే అండి.
ప్రొఫెసర్ ఆనశెట్టి సార్ ప్రణామ్. ఇవాళ జాయిన్ అండి. నమస్తే రామణ. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ రామణ.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అన్న.
రాష్ట్రీయ ಸಾಕು ಹೌದಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು కొత్త తీసుకోవాలి వస్తా ఓల్డేనా
गुड इवनिंग रमना नायक साहब, अब किधर है? दो दीवार का बीच में
कितना भैया कोई ये पिन और बोलते हैं जेब में सारा कुछ पटको है Very sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. एक साल में नहीं बना सर अच्छा बात है tomorrow 12 11 oh मालूम అవును సార్ అమ్మ కాబట్టి తక్కువ मंगल जून 13 में
అందరికి గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. నమస్తే సార్ మురళీకృష్ణ గారు.
బాబు
Good evening to you all. Good evening, sir. Brahma Reddy, sir.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్
Ramna
సార్.
Nayak garu, Rameswara
నమస్తే
garu,
నమస్తే we are in a small
Ram Reddy
small
garu,
meeting.
Ramanjacharya garu. Good evening for all of you.
నమస్తే ఇక్కడ మన రజికుమార్ సార్ వాళ్ళ బొమ్మపతి గురించి
ఈయన సార్ మురళీకృష్ణ గారు మన చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ జాయిన్ అయ్యారు సార్. రాజశేఖర్ గారు
జాయిన్ అయ్యారు సార్ జాయిన్ అయ్యారు
We have taken little time to light the lamp on the National Survey Day.
Yes,
Some members are here, council members and others. So we are done in the other hall. I think we will be now displaying in the screen also. Start చేద్దామండి. People will join. Sir, వెంకట సుబ్బయ్య గారు.
ఒక 5 minutes సార్.
Okay. Many has given message that we will join, even from Tamil Nadu.
నారాయణ సార్ మీ ఫామ్ సబ్మిటెడ్. నారాయణ సార్ మాట్లాడారు సంజయ్ కట్టేది బస్ మాడపోయిన పట్టించుకోదాం కొన్ని మాడపోయిన పట్టించుకో.
ఓకే.
ఏ దగ్గర మేడం ఏ దగ్గర రావణ బెల్ట్ పెట్టుకో. సామ్సంగ్ SM-A 13F 4AG 35F.
अभी मैं सोचा था अभी ये करेंगे
आशीर्वादानं आणि त्यांच्या साक्षीनं आज हा समरथ మనం జూమ్ వైఫై जाएंगे you can do a different guide anywhere so that you can construct for this needs and okay. Yeah, after some time I tried for the better to area also done better to area it road up you don't know when you get the land again you have to do they are given the 3.8 acres land, whatever the road portion 3.8 acres. And even in 6.7 first to take this road portion. By 19 and 1 yes. And then balance is there, that is also I have to first. But that also applied TDR was the transfer development rights. Suppose we want to construct a multi-story. Suppose we are not having the subject area. Help of the TDR. Sure. And then we do it, but we are already having suppose we will sell to outsiders, they will take it. What is that? Now TDR is not saying. The public billing goes to a construction. they will apply for the
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
Engineering.
they will get exchange.
Yes.
Acha, not in this area.
No, no, no. Not them.
Sir, good evening to all of you.
These are the conditions.
Yeah. Need in Hyderabad, they can go for.
5 minutes.
Sir, I extend you hearty welcome for the National Survey Day celebration. Now I request Engineer B. Brahma Reddy, FIE Chairman, IEI Telangana State Center, to preside over the function and conduct the proceedings. Sir, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Venkateswara Garu, Honorary Secretary, Institution of Minutes. Respected Chief Guest, kindly mute all your this. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. K. Rajashekar, Deputy Director General, NIC, DT, MCIT, Government of India, and today's respected keynote speaker, Professor Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna, FIE, former Director R&D, JNTU, DRDO Distinguished Fellow, my colleagues, Dr. G. Venkateswara, Honorary Secretary, IEI Telangana State Center, Professor Dr. Ramana Nayak Bhanutu, FIE, Chairman R&D and convener of today's event, our council members, Dr. I.S. and Raju Garu, Engineer P. Surya Prakash Garu, and our committee members, Ram Reddy Garu, Dr. G. Rameshwar Rao, Director of SKI, Rama Madam, Narmada Garu, Surya Narayan Garu, Subbireddy Garu, and all other committee members and other council members whom I could not see on the screen. Past chairman, past honorary secretaries, members of other Telangana State Center Committee, and distinguished guests, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure and privilege and honor to be amidst this August virtual gathering and extend a warm and hearty welcome to the today's respected chief guest, Dr. K. Rajashekar, Deputy Director General, NIC, and respected keynote speaker, Dr. Enki Murali Krishna Garu, and all of you to this National Survey Day. Today, I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event of celebrating Survey Day throughout the country on this 10th April, not only in Survey of India, but all the state government, union territories also celebrate this today in a befitting manner. This day has a special significance in the history of surveying, as it is on this day that Major William Lawton started the Great Trigonometrical Survey and the work of measurement of Great Arc from the Cape Comorin to Bangalore on 10th April 1802 by measuring a baseline near observatory at Madras, and later extended the arc to further north to Himalayas, to be very precise, to be up to Mussoorie Hills. The work carried out on through a variety of tough terrain constituting steep hills, wide and deep rivers, dense jungles, infested with wild animals, insects, and above all, deadly mosquitoes, as there were no chemical sprays on those days to kill those, and especially in jungles. On 10th April is generally kept an open day by the Survey of India and the state survey departments, where they supply all the information about maps and show how a map is made and how much of effort is involved in its production, and also demonstrate the latest techniques adopted by the Survey of India in this direction. The GPS and later beams have made the control work and surveying simpler, but need lot of technique and precision, besides security measures to ensure that the data do not fall in wrong hands, the slightest lapse may do damage than good. Maps are required by everyone for day-to-day life, and their use can make their life easy and better. Maps should be used in every walk of life for its smooth functioning. No wonder that today we are using everywhere GPS fitted in cars and other vehicles. Not only guides one to the destination, but gives you the shortest route. The greatest advantage is of knowing the location of the vehicle in which it is fitted, so that necessary help and assistance can be rendered and as and when required. And I'm sure today's chief guest will deliver the lecture on relevance of drones in survey, and guest of honor, keynote speaker will deliver the lecture on methodology of cadastral survey and challenges. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty and warm welcome both to the respected chief guest, Dr. K. Rajashekar, Deputy Director General, NIC, and also Professor Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna, FIE, former Director R&D JNTU DRDO, a distinguished fellow, and all of you to this important event. Before I request Professor Murali Krishna Garu to deliver his keynote address, I request Professor Dr. Ramana Naik Banu to the convener of the event, to kindly introduce today's keynote speaker, Professor Avi Murali Krishna Garu. Thank you one and all, and over to Professor Dr. Ramana Naik. Mute చేయండి, unmute చేయండి Ramana garu.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Yeah, please go.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. It's a great pleasure to introduce my Guru, Professor V. Murali Krishna garu. Professor Dr. Murali Krishna VNQ from a premier Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore. That is presently Dr. Raja Ramana Distinguished Fellow as a Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, India. And he served as an assistant professor in IIT Chennai, Madras, and senior scientist and head of the Marine Application Division, National Remote Sensing Agency, Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, professor and founder HOD of Center for Spatial Information Technology, CSIT, Jawaharlal Nehru Technology University, and director of JNTU R&D, Research and Development Center, the National Coordinator for Geospatial Public Health, which is National Networking Government of India project. He is a professor and founder HOD, head of the Center for Spatial Information Technology, CSIT, at JNTU Hyderabad, and director R&D Center. He did his PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and MTech from IIT Madras. He has guided and co-guided more than 26 PhDs and 152 MTech and MSc MS in the area of geospatial technology and data analysis and environment management. He has served as a guest scientist at German Space Research Institute, DLR, and GKSS Research Center. He is presently research focus on classification and geospatial public health management and geospatial technology applications, and a national coordinator for geospatial public health, which is a national networking government of India project. He has published more than 50 papers in peer-reviewed journals and about 80 papers in the national and international conference. He has authored 2 books in climate change and weather modification technology, 2008, and environment management, right to change, and contributed to 3 chapters in the publications. Thank you, sir. I'm very happy. My Guru, Professor Murali Krishna Garu Madhushan. Thank you, sir. Over to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request the today's respected speaker, Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna Garu, kindly to proceed, sir. They're giving you screen sharing.
Thank you, sir. Can I request Venkatratnam garu, someone to share the screen?
Yeah, I already told them, sir. I have given the matter to them.
No,
You want to pour out again?
yeah, I think I can share now.
Fine, water. Water. Network cut.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, now it has come, sir.
Okay. Can you share the screen, sir?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Now it's
Yeah.
clear.
Are you able to hear me? My voice.
Yeah, both are clear, sir. Your voice as well as
Thank
the
you.
screen.
So, thank you, Ramana Naik garu, Professor Dr. Ramana Naik garu, for your kind words and detailed introduction of my background. Thank you very much. So, Chairman, Institute of Engineers, Brahmareddy garu, former, council members, ISN Raju garu, Surnarayan garu, and Dr. Ramesh Kumar garu, Rameshwar Reddy garu. Then regarding other members of the state committee, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Our chairman has started interesting about the trigonometric survey. They explained the significance of National Survey Day. So essentially, it started with the trigonometric survey. I can say that is the day on which the digitalization process has been initiated in one way or other. So we are only continuing, we are just continuing what has happened in 100 years back. So while talking about these technologies today, the digitization process we are experiencing today is almost accelerating the development of the geospatial technology per se, which includes satellite technology, terrestrial surveying, and navigation, etc. And in such a scenario, the solution providers dealing with the geospatial technology have no option but to focus on the user needs and the way the technologies can address their daily concerns. That is very important aspect at any point of the time. So we are very quickly embracing the technology evolution today. It could be the data analytics, artificial intelligence, big data, IoT, etc. And certainly this is creating more and more opportunities to anyone. So how are these digital technologies influencing geospatial technology trends? The specific thing about the geospatial technology is the linkages of geospatial technology and digital technology and how it overrides on each other is specifically a tricky thing, especially in the world of geospatial, where the technology merges with everything. The technology getting merged with everything and finally helping to empower the process. So what are the usage of the geospatial technology in terms of the products, the process, or business development? One is agriculture, agribusiness solutions. Then the disaster management is one area where people are talking extensively. And the geospatial data modeling, because for very specific applications to the geospatial data modeling, the web portal services, the infrastructure development, you name anything today, the borders between the rest of the technologies, the rest of the applications, the rest of the geographical features and the geospatial technology are blurred. That means you find the technology is everywhere. It's omnipresent, omnipotent, whether it is natural resources or railways, technologies, transportation, road management, railways management, etc. It is impinging every part of the sector. One of the most important areas where the technology has emerged during the last couple of, particularly last decade, is the utilities. Because of the availability of very high super resolution data, the utilities have increased and it has provided greatest scope in the area of the domain of the surveying field. So mapping the technologies for urban planning, improved urban facilities, sanitation, water supply, etc., have become some of the excellent benefits of this technology or a specific issue. So just see the technologies, how they have evolved. When in 1982, when the Landsat was launched, the resolution was about outer of 1 meter, but it has moved from almost 1 meter to 80 meters resolution to 1 meter today. So this is what exactly I was referring to, the development of the technology for the potential for surveying with immense benefits. That is what exactly is the key for the today's growth in the geospatial technology. When it started in 1960, some aerial photography, to today, the data analytics, LiDAR, GIS, artificial augmented reality, virtual reality, drones, etc. And recently, the ISRO has launched CubeSats in the private sector. That is the greatest, I mean, what you call as a remarkable change in the way the government is functioning today, with the opportunities for the industry, private sector, for entrepreneurs to utilize the data to provide their own platforms and automatically develop entrepreneurship skills, both in the professional people as well as the youngsters and the students. That has really changed the way the technologies have become powerful. So if you take about the developments in data, one is a descriptive analytics, that is what has been done long time back. Diagnostic analytics, that is also done. The data has been done. What is the diagnosis of the data? And the predictive analytics. These are the three things which are being consecutively being done. With the digitalization, data analytics, etc. emerging, the prescriptive analytics has come in a significant manner. Those things are causing very good progress, because not only the cause, the effect, and the solution, all these three things are becoming possible through the use of these technologies. So geospatial technology has the entire geospatial ecosystem in a what you call as a digital environment, could be decided in terms of certain pillars, which is geospatial technology segments, GNSS, spatial analysis, etc. I'm not going to talk about them in these things very detailed, because this has got a lot of information, wonderful slide, which summarizes the entire developments of the geospatial technology and the state of the art of the technology today. While doing those things, the technology at the core of digitalization. What technologies are there at the core of digitalization? Because we are having the presence of Dr. Rajshekhar from National Informatics Center, which is the key organization in the country which has developed programs related to the land records, cadastral land records, and the automation and modernization of the program. And ultimately, the Land Resources Management Department of Land Resources, Government of India, has launched with the support of NIC a unique land parcel identification number, that is called ALPIN. It is changing the way you handle the data, the way you receive the data, the way you even investigate the data in terms of the land records, registration, mutation, etc. have really got benefited because of this particular wonder. And the main organization in these things, technology solution providers, are the national informatics centers. See, the computerization of the land records, the computerization of the registration in terms of the revenue management, and also integration of the Aadhaar number with the land records database on certain, what you call as, of course, it could be on a voluntary basis. So these are the technologies at the core of digitalization that have come. So the objective of this particular program is to develop a comprehensive and transparent, what the government calls as land record management system, which has become possible because of the development, the initiative it's taken by the government for computerization of the land records. So it has provided immense scope for optimization of the land resources, and ultimately it take an informed decision by prospective buyers or the sellers. So integration of the data is, as I already said. The second component that I have launched is the National Generic Document Registration System. It is ultimately considering the need of the hour in various areas, registration of the document, whether it is question of registration of the document or the deed or various other issues. These have provided specific benefits in terms of cost-effective solutions for the land records management. So ultimately, the unique land parcel ID number, which of course I happen to participate in 3 states in Chhattisgarh and Tripura and Maharashtra in this particular program. It is a very unique program, and with a single system of the land parcel ID across the country. That is a basic concept, and I think we will certainly look forward to know more about it from our chief guest, Rajshekhar Garu from National Informatics Center, Government of India. So while doing these things, what is the geospatial technology in digital world is providing? One is the standards. That is very important. People are telling about the standards and the open data. I need not tell importance of the standards. Everybody knows about it, because a well-defined geospatial data management and analysis standard is what is going to address the specific computerization of interoperability and in terms of the redundancy of issues with the various different types of data sets, thus ultimately increasing the effective utilization of the resources and ultimate benefit to the stakeholders. Open data, the value of open data, we need not mention at this particular point of the term. It is immense. Then the digital engineering is the key to successful digital engineering, or also it's called as the building information modeling, lies in ultimately proper management of the data. And this is where the geospatial component in digital world is going to play a very, very significant role. Social media, we know today the importance of the social media, because the location in terms of this, let us say smartphones in every hand has led to an ever-increasing amount of spatially located information on social media. So that has really changed the way today the social media and through mobile phones are linked, and the way the information is being processed for both for good and bad. So then the third one, last one is the mobile application. The growth of apps has been driven by the mobile devices, enormous. And finally, the mobile, what you call as web portals, have changed significantly over a period of the time. So in terms of these things, what type of digital ecosystem at the geospatial technology, at the feet of the geospatial technology, the digital ecosystem is comprises of Internet of Things, because IoT is about all the devices. Internet of Things is about all devices connected to the internet, and also machine-to-machine interfaces, etc. And artificial intelligence today, there is no area, no technology that is not getting benefited through AI, because it encompasses many technologies like, for example, cognitive computing, machine learning, image processing, neural networks, etc. So this has become a very significant development over a period of the time when we talk about the digital ecosystem, whether it is IoT or etc. And then the cloud, because geospatial cloud is computing provides a very wonderful platform for the evolution in what you call as the big data. The big data, because if somebody says, what is big data? The entire data pertaining to the earth, environment, and people is the big data, because it is before people started talking about big data, the professionals in the domain of surveying, the remote sensing, GIS has started dealing with the enormous amount of terabytes of data without calling the word big data. The big data word has come later, but now today what these geospatial technologies implementing is a very accurate, precise definition of the big data. So these technologies are providing essentially a components in terms of the imagery, artificial intelligence tools, data analytics, etc., and the geospatial tools. And this has emerged into a new area called as the GeoAI, geospatial artificial intelligence. That is a separate area today, it is being used in several applications related to the particularly disaster management applications. So geospatial technology, in terms of the digital technologies, because the increase in the spatial technology, the increase in the spectral values, and the scope for thematic integration and the launching of the GPS and Indian regional navigation satellite system has changed these things significantly to contribute in a much more effective and significant manner, where the digital technology today is going to stand very, very significantly, and it is going to create one type of situation wherein the powerful technology is omnipresent and omnipotent with omnipotentials. So the technology in the end of the core of digitalization is going to become one of the very, very significant aspects. And the geospatial AI is the next technology that is it's already in the horizon. It is being used. It's not that something new it has come. It is already in the horizon, and its people are starting using it, and it is going to become operational in the course of time, particularly in the areas related to the high resolution data utilization and urban planning, etc. Environment, health, agriculture, these are the three areas that are going to get immense benefit from the geospatial artificial intelligence. So while doing these things, so we cannot take in exponential thinking is one of the major areas. I'll skip this slide. Exponential thinking gives you more benefit in the number of steps by decreasing number of steps. So that way, the linear thinking gives you lesser scope for applications. That is where the digitization, the geospatial technology, geospatial artificial intelligence, and today one of the very low-hanging fruit of the benefit is to the public is the digital land records management, and these land records management, including the tools of blockchain technologies, etc., are going to provide us very great scope for increasing the value of the land, and you solve all social, economic problems in the society. That is what exactly I wanted to say. The linear thinking, as time has gone, that the exponential thinking has come. That's where the digitalization stands very significantly. Thank you very much for this great opportunity to address on an important day on a very important topic very briefly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir, Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna Garu, for a nice, precise, concise, and excellent pragmatic information about digitalization and geospatial in a digital world, and also how technologies are being used for the geospatial purposes. And really, it's a very good message. I think more than 20 pages I have put in 2 pages. It's really wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think if anybody want to ask, I think better after our Rasekar sir speaks, we'll go for questioning, or you want now itself? Hello?
Sir.
Shall we go for questioning now and answers, or shall we?
Because at the end we will see, sir.
Okay, then anybody wants to have any question? Otherwise, I'll proceed to request our chief guest to. Okay, I think there is no question and coming from any this thing. Now I request our Honorary Secretary Dr. G. Venkatesubbai Garu to kindly introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Rajshekar Garu, Deputy Director General, retired NIC, DT, MCIT, Government of India. Over to Dr. G. Venkatesubbai Garu.
Thank you, sir. So it is my privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Rasekar K. Coming to his experience, Rasekar Garu worked at various senior positions for over 32 years in the information technology and communications communication fields and its applications in nearly 50 sectors of socio-economic development. The positions held include State Informatics Officer of Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. Besides, Chairman of NIC's National Project Advisory Committee for several years. Shortlisted for interview for the post of Director General NIC in May 2022, just before retirement from NIC in June 2022. Earlier worked in ONGC Limited and in a DST project. Coming to awards for Professor K. Rajasekhar, won over 50 national and international awards for various innovative initiatives in information technology and communication sector, which includes 3 national e-governance awards by the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Government of India, and the only CTO to receive twice the Digital Transformation Leadership Award for contribution made in the information technology sector. Coming to articles, sir also authorized and published over 30 research articles in the national and international fora, including IEEE and Springer journals. Coming to education, sir did PhD, MTech in Computer Science and Engineering, MSc Technology, and MBA, besides various courses at KDE School of Public Policy Management, Seoul, South Korea, IIM Kolkata, IIM Indore, IRSC Dehradun. Currently, sir is doing R&D in artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security, blockchain, IoT, enterprise mobility management, big data analytics, remote sensing and GIS, data grievances, local language computing, big data analytics, data grievances, AI governance, etc. So with this, I request Professor K. Rajasekhar Garu to give his lecture for the audience present here. So please, sir.
So thank you for the nice introduction, Dr. Venkata Garu. And so I thank Dr. Engineer Brahma Reddy Garu, Chairman IE, and our teacher, Professor I.V. Murali Krishna Garu, for his excellent speech covering all the important areas right from the beginning, and also the nitty-gritties of this present day digital technologies and how the technologies are merging and emerging. And so excellent lecture he has delivered. And so also I thank Dr. Ramana Nayak Garu, Chairman R&D convener, and others who are other dignitaries who are present. So thank you for giving this opportunity. Let me just share my screen. I think. Yeah. Yeah, is it visible, please?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the topic given to me is digitalization of the survey and the unique land parcel identification number. So today this is very, very important, and I'll be touching the what is the present scenario and what is the need for unique land parcel identification number.
Sir, PPT could not open, sir. Sir, PPT not display.
Okay, okay, okay. Is it?
Yeah, we are seeing.
Yes, sir. It is visible. It's good.
Yeah, visible, na?
Please
Yeah,
view in
yeah.
full screen, sir.
Yeah. So second slide also agenda is visible, na?
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
So agenda is what is the present scenario and need for the unique land parcel identification number and digitalization of the survey and ULPIN, advantages and conclusions. That's what actually I'm going to talk. Now, when as our Professor I. Mullakrishna Garu has rightly emphasized, and the need for surveying and also how various departments are making use of this. Revenue department, municipal departments, local bodies, panchayats, forestry, and other mining and geology industries, several departments requires this land information. And because to even for giving a subsidy to a farmer, whether the farmer owns the land or not, the financial institutes requires this information. Earlier, a farmer used to show the same piece of land and used to borrow loan from several banks. That used to be a problem. Now we have actually facilitated the banks to have information about the land identification. There is some land, based on the land, how much loan has been taken. So in case if he has borrowed loan from one bank, other banks will have that information. That information is based on that. Now banks are able to safeguard their interests, and also the genuine farmers are getting the loans. So that is one example. Similarly, if a industrialist if he's borrowing loan from a bank, whether he really owns the land, in case if it is owned, the same piece of land, he may show to several banks as if he's establishing different industries. So this land unique identification, apart from that, the sharing of the land information among various departments is important. Similarly, a land which is owned by the mining and geology department or forestry department should not be mutated because it is a government property or whatever. So such are waterlogged bodies, water bodies, and such information should not, such land information is important for the registry department, because that type of land should not be transferred, ownership should not be transferred. So timely flow of information about the land information is important among these departments. And if you see, in India, we have around 6.4 lakh, 6 lakh 40,000 villages, and there are several crore parcels are there. And the average land holding in hectares is, of course, Punjab it is high, but otherwise in Rajasthan it is 2.73 hectares, and Gujarat. So it is the land holding size decreasing, and in Telangana average is 1 hectare per is a land holding. So land holding sizes are less, and Uttar Pradesh population is highest, and land holding size is low. And there also the land holding, whatever the land they hold, may not hold in one location. At different parts, they may hold small pieces of land. Such type of scenario is there. Similarly, in other states also. So the land holdings are decreasing. The population is increasing, and land related disputes are also increasing. For example, in Bihar, this is a newspaper item only in September 22. For just a piece of land, people can just kill. And detailed guide to property disputes, because 66% of the disputes in the country, which are actually in the courts, are busy in dealing with these property disputes only. And so lot of disputes are taking place, and we have seen even somebody has sold these properties like monuments, even national monuments like Taj Mahal has been sold, even Red Fort has been sold, not once, thrice Taj Mahal has been sold. So this type of things also be here. And nowadays also, even recently, few months back, Chiran Fort, that somebody in sitting in Mumbai, they have sold the property, prime property in Telangana, to a party in Jammu and Kashmir. So dealing took place. So similarly, a lot of property disputes are taking place, and these are so these land parcels, railway, if you see the ownership wise, railways, they own in 2,929.6 square kilometers of land, and Coal India, or the Minister of Coal, they own around 2,580.92 square kilometers of land. The Power Ministry holds. So this way, Shipping Ministry holds 1,146 square meters of land. Steel Industry, Agriculture Department, so Home Affairs. So like this, different ministries of the government also are owning different the land. And in case if if disputes are not redressed in time, that leads to the problem. And so now the disputes are taking place in spite of, though we have, as our professor has rightly mentioned, we have nowadays through the spaceborne, not even spaceborne, even the aerial platform, or through the drones, or even through the land also. For example, if I take a total station will be able to typically measure the distances up to 1,500 meters, and also height of that means 4,900 feet of distance, with an accuracy of about 1.5 millimeters. So that is 2 parts per million accuracy we are able to measure, and most of the disputes may not be of related to that much resolution. So we have nowadays, as Professor my predecessor has rightly spoken, we have enough digital and electronic and scientific tools are there, systems are there in place, and but still we have also a lot of disputes. So for addressing these disputes, we have to come out with some scientific, because in the country right now, if you see the way the land records are managed, or also the property registration data is managed, that is actually leading to a lot of disputes, because of lack of objectivity, and because of lack of scientific method in recording and addressing this property data. So to address this, Government of India has we have started this project first in Andhra Pradesh, when I was heading Andhra Pradesh and NIC, because as UIDA, that Aadhaar identification has facilitated elimination of the bogus beneficiaries. For example, in the public distribution itself, by eliminating the bogus records and also facilitating the direct beneficiary direct benefit. That means the right beneficiary will get the ration of the right amount. Similarly, the DBT schemes where Aadhaar is identity details and Aadhaar biometric based authentication is taking place in the real time, so that every month the pension is being paid, or other various schemes are there through which the DBT is taking place. So Aadhaar has played a major role in eliminating the bogus beneficiaries, and also ensuring the authenticity of the genuine beneficiaries by uniquely identifying the beneficiary. Similar thing has to happen in the property data. So for that, in the case of human beings, we have taken the biometrics, that is iris and the fingerprints data, and the face. This face and fingerprint, this has been taken to uniquely identify. So similar initiative has been taken up in the case of identifying the land parcels. So where presently land parcels do not have a georeferenced coordinates. So for example, but one problem with the system is, though some of the states may have a unique identification number for identifying the land parcels, or the parcels, or the property parcels, but they may not be georeferenced. That is another problem. So they may be using some administrative units, administrative unit codes, district code, tehsil code, village code, etc., and also some ownership ID or something like that, but it is not related to any georeferencing. So that is one problem in some of the states. In case they may say we have unique ID for property, but if it is not geo-referenced, then it cannot be uniquely determined. So such courts face issues in case of reorganization of the boundaries. That is quite a common practice now. So that can be managed through ITM. So that means in case if there is a mutation, if the huge land parcel it gets mutated, then giving a new number. For example, pin codes numbers are there. Pin code numbers basically geographically based, but at one point of time, nowadays the additional numbers, for example, if you see the Telangana Secretariat area, they have given 63 the pin code number, and earlier it used to be some number. So, but geographically, this 63 number, which has come a new number, which is existing in a parcel, which used in a different parcel, which has existed for several decades in a different geographical location. So such problems may occur. So there should be a scientific method for identifying these land parcels. And so, for example, state of Andhra Pradesh adopted a strategy and assigned a random code to each land parcel, which first to so state code like this. Uttar Pradesh also has adopted another strategy and assigned 16-digit unique code for each land parcel. First 6 digits is the revenue village code, 7th digit and to 10th digit is the Bhukhand card Ghata code, plot number that is, and the 11th digit to 14th digit is the subdivision number, Bata, Kagha, Min, Jumla, something like that, and 15th to 16th digit for land type. So this type of codes are being used in different states by digitization, because Government of India has started the land records modernization project, and they have funded all the state governments to modernize the land records and also to digitize the land records. During the time, they have actually, while digitizing the land records, they have also taken up the issue of identifying the land parcels uniquely, but that the identification data is like this. So that is also leading to some problems. So there should be, in the case of, for example, Bihar, the geo-referenced cadastre. So these problems, to overcome these problems, geo-referenced land records management and geo-referenced land identity labeling is also important. That process has started few years back, and the states, though there is a lot of potentiality, it can eliminate all the legal disputes. And also because nowadays people are afraid of buying a piece of land or property, because today unless you occupy and unless you are the present physical enjoyer of the property, we may not know, somebody else may come and they may sell the property to anybody, or they may occupy, and whoever is physically present, whoever may construct the house. There are also some judgments where is physically they may construct a house and they start living there, then we may lose, though you may own the property or that particular housing site or whatever may be. So that is the scenario in the country right now. And as a result, for example, in the case of ease of doing business, for example, all the governments, central government as well as the state governments, are actually trying to invite investments from the foreign investors, and foreign investors, when they come and invest, they wish to one of the thing is they wish to own the property to start a business or industry or manufacturing plant or whatever may be, a value addition plant or whatever may be. So in case if this property disputes, because another important problem is the disputes, if there are disputes, and resolution of the disputes takes around 7 to 8 years average dispute result time in our courts. So that is another important problem. As a result, the ease of doing business, though there are a lot of reforms are being initiated in the country. So this reform is very much important, and which can actually bring in much more investments, and also we can do much more. So there are nowadays single window clearance systems are there, but still, after giving the clearance, in case if there is a dispute result, the courts will take the time, because they have to have refer to a lot of documents, and those documents are subjective, and different people have authored the documents at various points of time in their own style. As a result, there is no scientific basis, there is no standard practice in recording the land records or the property records. That is the major problem. As a result, disputes are taking place, and so redressal is important. And even for employment generation or for the development, this surveying, digitization of the surveying, and also for the planning, and also for redressing, and for this is very much important. So need for unique parcel identity for the land parcel. Digital India Land Records Modernization Program is one of the most important mission mode project of the Government of India. Here, approximately 94 crore land parcels across 6.55 lakh revenue villages are in the country, and in those villages, 94 crore land parcels are there at present. And these urban area properties, if I say, that will be much higher also. So this is the volume, and this problem has to be addressed. And to address this problem, the solution is unique property natural identifier. So that is a lot. PNL, modern survey equipment and technologies has made the geospatial representation of boundaries and the future commonplace in everything from websites to mobile devices. That means, for example, if you are if you wish to share an address to somebody who is delivering a parcel of food item, Uber or Ola, or if you are waiting for a taxi to transport a thing, you just share your location easily. So that is how actually the geospatial technologies have advanced every day. A lot of taxi players and a lot of transporters in the transport sector. A lot of revolution has taken place. It has generated a lot of revenue and also brought in transparency, and it has enhanced the revenue business also. And also you will be able to track the position of your near and dear who is traveling from one location to another. And you can also track, and you can also in real time check whether a particular area is congested or not, and you can divert in the real time. All these things are advantages are taking place because of the geospatial technologies, and also all the GeoA, and that as our professor has rightly mentioned about the advances which are taking place. And every day these foods are being enjoyed by everybody in the society nowadays. So these technologies have to be used for identifying the land parcels and property data also. So this is very much important, because whatever life savings citizens may earn, so they may just put it in purchasing a property or their ancestral property. In case if somebody can occupy, and physically whoever is has more power right now, they may try to occupy and try to enjoy the property. So so like Aadhaar, this land ID should be there, and that ID also should be based on the natural boundaries, natural coordinates. So in case any piece of land it can be represented in a trigonometry like a polygon, and the corners of the polygon will have unique coordinates in any of the projection system. And this coordinates will represent a combination of these coordinates. From there a number can be derived, and that number will be the property natural identifier. Like the minutiae point, that means based on the minutiae points, that means the encircles in our fingerprints. There are different encircles, and the relative coordinates of these minutiae points is creating a unique fingerprint ID. Similarly, the property boundaries which have unique coordinates will be defining the unique natural identity of the property. So even if the property gets mutated, it will have different new coordinates, and accordingly it will have a natural identifier scientifically, so anybody can identify uniquely that particular property. So it is natural because generated from the registry, from the coordinates of the Earth's surface that are intrinsic characteristics of the lot, and not by any UIDA or any central authority has not given. It is natural. So we may use any of the projection system like WGS 84 or whatever maybe. And so like this, each property will have a map, a number, and each parcel can be identified. So this exercise has started in the different streets, and that can be overlaid on the imageries, satellite imageries, for example, in the Google Map area. And so we can actually easily identify the property. So example, so these coordinates, for example, these are the different coordinates, and these coordinates will give a unique land parcel ID. So there are some, this is a rectangle piece of land, and this is the colors are not exactly visible here. Here it is like this particular piece of property is like a snake. It is like a railway track, but not a linear railway track, some T-shaped railway track. So even then, this type of means properties parcels can have different shapes, and still they will be, we will be able to generate a unique ID. So that is the thing. Okay. And another important thing is a particular type of property may be in the shape of a ring, or it may be periphery of a rectangle. So if I take the property ID of the rectangle, and also a property which is in a, which is a periphery of the rectangle only, not the entire rectangle. It may be a periphery. So it is like a pathway of a path may be there in a rectangle shape, and the pathway may be in the periphery of the rectangle. So let us say this pathway only is owned by somebody. Let us say we have given on lease to somebody to advertise and also develop something like that. So even such type of this unique parts, this Alpin number generation algorithm involves the tracking the path and taking the exact coordinates. So that way it will be uniquely generated in case. So for a circle, it will give different, and also for a ring of the same radius, it will give different coordinates and different identity numbers. Another important thing is this e-commerce community of common management association. So they have standards, provides an open, transparent. So that another important thing is this providing this land identity number in such a way, in conforming to the standards of ECCMA, so that if you are purchasing a property, the property can have an open, transparent, efficient process for developing, maintenance, and distribution of electronic commerce codes over the internet. That means a property can be also traded in the like e-commerce. A person may be in a different location. Like we are purchasing immobile properties or on the internet, e-commerce. On so a lot of properties are being a lot of property, immobile properties are being purchased. Jewelry is purchased. Mobile phones are being purchased. A lot of electronic gadgets. Everything is nowadays being purchased online. E-commerce has become, because it has reduced the length of the supply chain, and it is linking the buyer and the seller directly. As a result, the cost of there is a benefit of cost for both buyer as well as seller. So similar thing in the case of properties, lot of middlemen or the intermediaries plays a major role. As a result, the rates gets hiked unnecessarily. So here also in the e-commerce, ECCMA standard compliant codes, if they are generated, then what can happen is a property can be uniquely identified and also can be traded across the regions. From in a person may be in a different state or in a different country also. If he is permitted, eligible, he can also purchase properties. So this is what actually is a objective. So the geometric characteristics are captured in the identifier exchange. It will capture the geographical georeferenced geographical character, and also compared to the international commerce standards. So that type of thing is required in generating this unique land parcel identification number, and it will ensure increased transparency in land records and land transactions, up-to-date land records, whereas when the transaction happens, if somebody is purchasing the land, immediately nowadays actually in Dharani portal, if somebody is purchasing the land, the earlier the revenue department used to maintain the land records and the registration department used to do the perform the transactions. Now with this NGDRS system, as Professor has mentioned, National general document registration system in the entire country, such a unique standard registration system government of India is planning, so that one can book a slot and pay the fees for the registration of the property in advance. So it will happen faceless manner, in a paperless manner, and on the day of registration he can the buyer and seller can land there, and they can actually, if right now there is a freedom for writing the document in the way they wish to write, but it is if they can mention the unique, the geo-referenced and also standard unique Alpin number of the parcel or the land parcel or the property identity, and also unique identity of the buyer as well as seller. It is very much important. Though law doesn't mandate the registration authorities to take the Aadhaar ID, because earlier we have started because we have seen somebody may say, okay, you may uniquely identify the property, and also you may keep the record of the land or the property record, and you may say so and so is the name of the property owner, but somebody else will come and say, yes, I am so and so and I am the real owner, and he may sell the property. So such type of things are happening. So Aadhaar ID of the, because you mention some name, he will say I am so and my Aadhaar ID is, so they can fabricate. So this Aadhaar authentication and is also important, and so we voluntarily we can actually mention in the property document during transactions this identity geo-referenced codes or Alpin number, and several states have started. In Telangana they have just initiated, Andhra also they have initiated, and but it has to take full in some states, in some districts on pilot basis it has started this Alpin number, usage of the Alpin number for identifying each land parcel, and so that these disputes get redressed, and property can be authenticity of the property can be ensured, and we will be able to uniquely identify the property, and also it can even the industry or others can also will be able to encourage to do the transactions based on this property, like once if it is a dematerialization of the property, that is like demat account, like we may buy and share, so that is one big area of business. Similarly, once it is dematerialized, and as Professor has mentioned about the blockchain technology as well as the dematerialization of the property document, it can also lead to a different area of trading on the dematerialized properties, and that trading also can happen. Somebody can buy property here and sell somewhere else, and like this, such type of things also are possible and feasible in case if we can identify uniquely, and also the owner as well as the property. So for this this Alpin number and unique land number is important, and each there is a formula to generate this as an ECCA MA standard prescribed unique 14-digit unique ID, and using the partial geo-reference coordinates on the vertices. This computationally generated unique ID would be organically dependent on the partial vertices expressed in latitude, longitude, and in the case of properties in the urban areas where apartments are also there, azimuth also will be taken to place. That means the altitude also will be taken, will be considered. So would be spatially be pointed to the surface of the parcel as well as its physical location in the three-dimensional space. A unique ID would be generated with the system itself as and when the mutation takes place, as left lung and mutated parcel will be different. And a unique ID of parcel being very precise and accurate should not be shared in public domain, as actually The biometrics the biometrics should not be shared in the public domain. Only a reference, a pointer to the biometric only can be shared. For example, instead of using Aadhaar ID, I was suggesting, why don't you use your mobile number? Because mobile number, we cannot hide it and we have to communicate. And for communicating, we have to publicize and our email ID or the mobile number. For example, digital mobile number. So instead of specifying Aadhaar number, if Aadhaar is linked, almost Aadhaar is seeded with the mobile number of everybody also. So instead of using Aadhaar number, we should always use only because now Aadhaar has advocated, they have virtual ID, VID, 14-digit VID you use. So instead of the real Aadhaar number. So this way, instead of using Aadhaar, we are using VID. VID is another virtual number where you can change. Now Aadhaar biometrics also you can log. Similar things. Now here in the case of parcel ID, instead of using the real geo coordinates, instead of communicating them, you can actually mask and give some reference pointer ID that can be communicated because of security reason or whatever maybe. That also is facilitates some of the safety, security, and confidentiality and privacy. All this also can be ensured. That is, data governance also can be ensured. So this is what is being advocated, and steps are being taken in that direction. And timely information exchange among the organization also can take place in case if ownership has transferred to one X to A. That also in the real time it should happen. That is actually happening. Revenue within the department from registration to land records management department. But similarly, it should also get reflected in the data of the financial institutions like banks and non-banking financial institutions and other related departments, judiciary or the local bodies. So local bodies also recently now in Telangana we have taken that exercise of as and when the mutation take place, we are also sharing the data with the local bodies so that the local bodies, urban panchayats as well as the municipalities can raise the demand for the property tax. Otherwise, so whatever for the past 2 years, if you are doing a transaction automatically, if your name has changed, in case you have purchased a property, and you will get tax automatically, the tax invoice or demand notice from the local municipality or local panchayat automatically. But before that, you need to earlier data has not been because old data. For that, one has to request for mutation and also pay for a small fees. But what I mean to say is nowadays, as technology is available, it can facilitate sharing of the data among the multiple stakeholders across the irrespective of their geographical location. So we should make advantage of this make best use of this technology, which is matured enough and very much available to address the major problems, because most of the times the courts are busy. 60% of the disputes are only property related disputes, and all the disputes can be easily, for example, in some countries they have dematerialized the scientific methods they have used, practices for identifying the property. So the courts will get actually at a click of a button in the real time, they will know who owns the property. So the disputes, there will not be any disputes. Even if there are disputes, the disputes can be redressed in no time. So that is what actually is required, so that our time and energies can be spent for further development activities. So features of the Alpine are unique 14 digits for every plot of the land in the country. Identification is based on the latitude, longitude, coordinates of the land parcel. Alpine system has already been successfully carried out in number of states on pilot basis. In the Alpine system, there will be a unique ID for each land parcel. The next step is to digital India land records management. Actually, this program has started in 2008, but still we are at in infancy only. Still, lot of improvement has to take place. But so I hope as the now our Institute of Engineers, they have also identified a important topic on this National Day of Survey. With this, they are also taking right step in sensitizing and also creating awareness about its importance. So similar activities will facilitate the decision makers to adopt this things which are available technically and benefit everybody. So this way created through the application of a reversible algorithm composition. So that can be reversed once if we are mapping, it can be reversed and we can uniquely identify. So this way we'll be able to generate the unique parcel ID which is scientific, and it can be referenced and it can be tracked, dispute can be reduced, and so thank you for giving this opportunity. And if any suggestions or queries, I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, good evening, Rajshekhar sir.
Yeah, good evening, namaskar.
I am Karapasamy calling from Trichy. You are digitization of land recording. You are doing it. Which department is actually doing in from Government of India side, sir? Survey of India, or who is the agency for taking care of this digitization of land records, sir?
Survey of India is responsible. Yes, see, Survey of India, they are responsible for doing the survey, and that is they are preparing the maps, etc. And in the case of there is a branch under Ministry of Rural Development. Okay, I'm identifying the department with respect to the modernization of the land records project. The project owner, that means the budget of that project comes from that particular department.
Okay. Mainly by involving the National Informatics Center, sir.
Actually, see, this revenue department is revenue is a state subject, and basically the implementing agencies are the state revenue departments. NIC is under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. We have developed the software for registration as well as land records management, adopting this cutting edge technologies. We have the solution, we have the software, and we are requesting the states to use it, and we are educating, sensitizing them. And if software is developed for one state and other states need not reinvent, other revenue departments need not reinvent, they can reuse it. So that's what our role is, to develop the software and implement, and funding is from the Ministry of Rural Development. There is a land records management division is there. Under that, they are funding it, and state revenue department's responsibility. It is all okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank
you. Any more questions, please? Okay, if no questions are there, then we'll proceed. And thank you, sir, Dr. Rajshekhar sir, for wonderful information given us. Even we are not connected with survey or civil engineering, but we are really got lot of information and knowledge out of your nice lecture. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Now, I request our Honorary Secretary, Dr. G. Venkat Subbai Garu, to kindly propose vote of thanks.
Yeah, before that, actually, though we are not related to see, for example, we may not be involved in the civil engineering or survey activities, but everybody may have a piece of property, and also they may travel. So this location of things, this technology is touching the lives of everybody. So, and this sensitization, and also this is very much important. I thank once again the institute for taking up the right topic on this important day. Thank you.
True, sir. You said because everybody.
One second, sir, and Rajshekhar. It is a very useful and a new topic for all of us, sir. Today we enjoyed your program. Thank you, sir.
One second. Brahmanandi garu. Chairman garu.
Yes,
Rajshekhar garu.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
How much time it will take to get it actually implemented on the ground, so that, see, if you look at the registration issues and all that, there are a lot of issues involved. to bring it to the state what we are thinking and bring it in that way, how much time we think we'll be able to do it?
Actually,
Mr. Prasad is there, na? Survey of India MD. I think he's retired. Rajesh sir.
it is a very important question. And every state has a data center. State data center is there, or NIC is also is having a state data center. That is the IT infrastructure. That is the data center resources required. On the server side, the resources required are available. On the client side, also, if you see, we have licensed surveyors who are also nowadays using all are using nowadays total station or GPS based surveying equipment. So on the client, on the field side also, the equipment is available. That is government without investing much. And on the other hand, the software required is also available. What is required is the decision and the training and sensitization. So we don't require a lot of resources. Resources are already available. Know-how is available. And and also sensitization of the training also. We have one or two workshops were conducted for half an hour or 1 hour involving only NIC officers by the department. They should involve. Actually, what I feel is if it is mandated, and COVID has forced everybody to use video conferencing technology, whether they like it or not, they can offer. Similarly, if they can mandate for within next 6 months, everybody should use this, and every transaction should have a Alpin number. It will be scientific, and this is the standard, and it can happen. It doesn't take much time. Technology is available, resources are available, additional budget is not required, and tools like this, whatever we are using, are available nowadays to inexpensively and in less time to train several field functionaries.
Okay.
So it doesn't take much time also.
Thank you.
And if they require training, further training, institutes like you, engineers are available to train the functionaries also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gopal Garu and Rajesh sir. Very happy. Highly appreciable presentation. Professor Ramna here.
Right, thank you, sir. So it is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. K. Rajsekar, Deputy Director General, NIC, DIT, MCIT, Government of India. Keynote Speaker, Professor Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna, FIE, former Director, R&D, JNTU, DRDO Distinguished Fellow, Engineer B. Brahma Reddy, FIE, Chairman, IEI, Telangana State Center, Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak, FIE, Chairman, R&D of IEI, Telangana State Center, and convener of today's event. Council members, Dr. ISN Razu, Engineer P. Surya Prakash, members of Telangana State Center Committee, Engineer K. Subbireddy, Engineer P. Ram Reddy, Professor Dr. Muhammad Moinuddin, M. Srinivas Rao, B. Ramesh Kumar, corporate members, Engineer Kagender, Engineer Rama, Engineer Narmada, Dr. S. Karupaswamy from Trichy, particularly, and the distinguished guests, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I convey our sincere and profound thanks to the Dr. K. Rajsekar, Deputy Director General, NIC, MCIT Government of India, for sparing his valuable time and addressing the gathering as chief guest of today's function. I extend my gratitude to Professor Dr. I.V. Murali Krishna, FIE, former Director R&D, JNTU, for addressing the gathering as keynote speaker on this National Survey Day. I also thank the dignitaries, past presidents of IEI, past chairmen, past honorary secretaries of IEI Telangana State Center, council members, committee members of IEI Telangana State Center, and others who made it convenient to attend this event. Thank you, one and all. Now I request all of you kindly stand for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे। भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल
यमुना गंगा
यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you, Maulik Krishna garu. Namaskaram, Dr. Rajshekar sir. Once again, thanks. Very good presentation.
Thank you to
Thank
all
you,
of
sir.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for all of you, sir.
Thank you, Honorary
Thank you.
Chairman sir. Pranam. మా దగ్గర మా CFI ఉన్నారు and Dr. Narmada is here, Tamud Ramesh is here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman sir. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.